This is Spillover, where secrets explode and the reality burns. Smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell, because tonight's revelation isn't gossip. It's a courtroom inferno shaking hip-hop to its core. King Von's sister didn't just show up to testify, she detonated a bomb. In front of the FBI, she shattered the silence with claims fans have whispered for years. Von was still alive after the shooting. He made it to the hospital. But according to her shocking testimony, that's where the betrayal reached its darkest level. She alleged the man who once called himself Von's brother-in-arms, Lil Durk, made sure Von never left that hospital alive. The room erupted. Gasps, shouts, chaos. And before the gallery could even process it, Durk's own brother allegedly launched at Von's sister, spitting out a chilling threat: "Your brother couldn't escape, and neither will you." Courtroom security swarmed in, the FBI froze, and what was supposed to be testimony turned into a war zone. A sister's screams. A brother's threat. And a murder conspiracy so sinister it has the entire culture demanding answers. Because this isn't just betrayal. This is blood. The courtroom was supposed to be a place of order, but that day it felt like the gates of hell had opened. The air was heavy, the silence sharp enough to cut skin, and every flash of a reporter's camera looked more like lightning in a storm than journalism. People weren't sitting in pews, they were sitting on the edge of history, waiting for a truth too dark to hear. At the center of it all stood King Von's sister. Pale, trembling, but unflinching. She wasn't here for clout, she wasn't here for headlines, she was here to bury lies. And when she opened her mouth, the entire room froze. Her words cut deeper than any gavel could. "My brother didn't die right away. He was alive, until someone made sure he wasn't." A gasp rippled through the courtroom like a haunted echo. It wasn't the words alone, it was the way she said it, like she had been carrying this demon on her chest since the night Von was killed. The FBI leaned forward. The gallery shifted in their seats. Even the judge tightened his grip on the bench. And then came the dagger. She said the name nobody wanted to hear, but everybody feared: Lil Durk. She claimed Von was rushed to the hospital after the shooting, fighting for his life. But in her testimony, she swore that Durk himself entered that hospital and finished the job. Not with bullets. With something darker. Her words painted a picture so chilling that people swore the lights in the courtroom flickered when she said them. Suddenly, the courtroom didn't feel like a legal proceeding. It felt like a seance, a spirit being called back with every word she spoke. People whispered prayers, others shook their heads, and yet nobody left. They wanted to hear every horrifying detail. She described the betrayal as something beyond human. Von wasn't just murdered. He was desecrated. She spoke of whispers that Durk attacked him with a knife, ripping away the chance of survival in a way so brutal it sounded more like a ritual than a killing. The gallery gasped again, some covering their mouths, others staring at Von's sister as if she were possessed by the truth itself. And just when the silence became unbearable, the storm broke. Out of nowhere, Durk's brother, D-Tang, lunged across the aisle. His face twisted with rage, his eyes wild. He didn't just attack physically, his words were knives of their own. "Your brother's fate will be your fate. You escaped once, but next time there will be no escape." The courtroom erupted into chaos. People screamed. Papers flew. Guards swarmed. Von's sister stumbled back, terrified but defiant, as if she had summoned a demon and now had to face it. The FBI agents moved faster than ever, restraining D-Tang, dragging him away as he thrashed and shouted curses. The sound of his voice lingered in the air long after he was gone, like the growl of a beast that refused to die. And through it all, Von's sister didn't sit down. She didn't back away. She stood trembling, tears in her eyes, and whispered into the microphone, "This is what happens when you tell the truth. They come for you. Just like they came for him." Her words didn't just haunt the courtroom. They haunted everyone watching, everyone reporting, everyone refreshing their feeds for updates. What had just happened wasn't a testimony. It was an exorcism. The secrets weren't buried anymore. They were clawing their way out, screaming for the world to hear. By the time order was restored, the courtroom felt different. It wasn't a place of law anymore. It was a tomb filled with betrayal, fear, and the ghost of King Von himself. And outside those walls, the internet was already on fire. Hashtags exploded, hashtag courtroom chaos, hashtag Von was alive, hashtag Durk exposed. Theories poured in. Memes spread like wildfire. And fans whispered the same chilling question. If this is what happened inside the courtroom, what horrors are still waiting to be revealed? By the time the courtroom emptied, the streets were already buzzing. Fans weren't talking about legal arguments or FBI procedures. They were talking about ghosts, curses, and betrayal. Vaughn's sister's testimony had cracked open a box everyone thought was sealed. And now the demons were crawling out for the whole world to see. The internet went feral. Twitter Spaces ran for hours, TikToks dissected every word, and Reddit threads built entire timelines. Fans replayed shaky courtroom footage where D-Tang lunged at Vaughn's sister, his words echoing like a death chant, "Next time you won't escape." Some swore they could see something unnatural in his eyes, a hollow stare that didn't belong to a man but to something darker. Then came the leak. A gossip blog posted what it claimed were excerpts from FBI files connected to Vaughn's case. Grainy PDFs, highlighted passages, anonymous stamps. One line stood out: subject was transported to hospital in critical condition. Subsequent injuries inconsistent with initial gunshot trauma. Fans froze. Did that mean Vaughn was alive after the shooting? Did someone make sure he didn't leave the hospital alive? The leak didn't name names, but the timing, right after his sister's testimony, was enough to ignite the firestorm. Screenshots spread faster than wildfire. Anonymous insiders whispered that the FBI already suspected a second incident inside the hospital. Some even claimed there was security footage that mysteriously vanished from a hospital's servers. Vanished, as if wiped clean by someone who didn't want the truth to see the light of day. Meanwhile, new receipts began surfacing. Leaked DMs allegedly between D-Tang and an unknown contact. One chilling line: "If she keeps talking, she'll end up like him." The screenshots were blurry, the usernames cropped, but in the frenzy, nobody cared. Fans treated it like gospel. Vaughn's sister's testimony had already shaken the courtroom, but now the leaks painted her words as prophecy. She warned them, and the receipts seemed to prove she wasn't lying. And then came the wildest twist: a supposed recording. A muffled audio clip hit the blogs, claimed to be from inside the hospital the night Vaughn died. Voices arguing, footsteps rushing, and a faint metallic sound that listeners swore was a blade being drawn. The tape was grainy, distorted, and impossible to authenticate, but fans didn't need proof. They needed drama. And this clip delivered it in spades. Podcasters broke it down second by second, amplifying sounds, slowing down voices. Some claimed they heard Vaughn gasping. Others said they recognized Durk's tone. Was it real? Nobody knew. But perception was enough to brand it as Vaughn's final minutes. While the internet obsessed, Vaughn's sister went into hiding. Insiders claimed she was under FBI protection, moved to a safe house after threats against her doubled overnight. Anonymous posts threatened her online: silence or grave. Her Instagram disappeared. Her TikTok wiped. And fans began to panic. Was she safe? Or had the alliance already reached her? Meanwhile, Durk's camp stayed silent. No denial, no statement, just silence. And that silence was louder than any defense. Fans flooded his comments with knife emojis, ghost emojis, and the same phrase on repeat: "Vaughn warned us." And in the shadows, another whisper began to spread. Some claimed this wasn't just about Vaughn. That the alliance Vaughn's sister spoke of wasn't an isolated betrayal, it was part of something bigger. A web. A conspiracy stretching through the industry, pulling strings from behind the curtain. Screenshots circulated of alleged travelogues showing D-Tang and Durk in the same city as Vaughn days before the murder, attending meetings with names redacted. Flight confirmations. Hotel receipts. All pieced together by fans into a chilling timeline. Betrayal wasn't a moment, it was a plan. One Reddit user wrote, "This isn't a beef. This is a ritual." Thousands agreed, reposting theories that Vaughn's death was part of a bigger agenda, one tied to power, money, and industry secrets. And through it all, Thang's courtroom attack became the symbol of fear. Memes turned it into a nightmare, his face frozen mid-lunge, captions reading "the demon slipped out." Fans joked nervously, but the undertone was horror. People didn't see a man protecting his brother's name. They saw a man silencing the truth, live in front of the FBI. The scandal had outgrown the courtroom. It wasn't just a testimony anymore. It was a storm. A storm fed by FBI leaks, fake receipts, mysterious recordings, and the chilling reality that Vaughn's sister might not survive telling her truth. Because once you summon the ghosts of betrayal, they don't go back quietly. By the third week, it no longer felt like news, it felt like a haunting. Everywhere you looked, King Vaughn's name was there. Murals were covered in candles. TikToks replayed his last interviews like prophecies. And yet, the louder his ghost became, the quieter Lil Durk's camp remained. Silence can be powerful. But silence in the middle of a scandal this dark? It felt like an admission. Fans weren't just angry, they were terrified. They replayed Vaughn's sister's words in court like scripture. He was alive, until someone made sure he wasn't. And then came the twist no one expected. A leak not from blogs, not from fans, but allegedly from within the FBI. Screenshots of an internal memo began circulating. The memo referenced third-party interference at the hospital the night Vaughn died. No names, no details. But it was enough to send the internet into meltdown. Reddit threads turned it into gospel. This proves Vaughn's sister wasn't lying. Others dissected the memo like it was evidence in a horror movie, pointing to blurred signatures and half-erased stamps as proof the truth was being buried. Theories spread. Maybe Durk wasn't alone. Maybe he wasn't the mastermind, just the face. And that's when the whispers began about the alliance. Anonymous pages claimed that what happened to Vaughn wasn't just a fight gone wrong, or even a single betrayal. It was part of a chain, a network, a secret alliance inside the industry that had the power to erase footage, silence witnesses, and turn murder into myth. Receipts began to surface. Blurry photos of Detang with faces blurred out. Hotel bookings under false names. Financial transfers to shell companies. Every piece of evidence painted the same chilling picture. This wasn't just about Vaughn. It was about power. Vaughn's sister, still in hiding, reportedly told close friends that she feared for her life. It wasn't just Durk, she allegedly said. It was bigger than him. And now they're watching me. The words leaked online, fueling the firestorm. Meanwhile, fans picked apart Thang's attack in court like it was possession. TikToks zoomed in on his eyes, slowing the footage to prove there was something inhuman in his stare. One clip went viral with the caption, "That wasn't Detang. That was the demon he serves." Millions watched. The horror touch wasn't lost. Memes became ghost stories. People swore they felt Vaughn's presence, streetlights flickering near murals, his songs playing randomly on shuffle, dreams where he appeared warning them. What was once fandom turned into folklore. Vaughn wasn't just a rapper anymore. He was a martyr, a ghost haunting the very people who betrayed him. And then came the darkest drop yet, an alleged letter. A grainy photo of handwritten words, claimed to be from Vaughn himself, recovered from his belongings. In it, he supposedly wrote about feeling watched, betrayed, even hunted. The final line shook everyone. "If I don't make it, remember who was standing next to me." Real? Fake? Nobody knew. But the timing, right as the alliance theory exploded, made it impossible to ignore. Public outrage boiled over. Hashtags trended globally. Hashtag justice for Vaughn. Hashtag Durk exposed. Hashtag courtroom chaos. Protesters even gathered outside a federal building, holding signs that read "FBI protect Vaughn's sister," and "The truth can't be buried." And through it all, Durk stayed silent. No interview, no denial, no statement. Just silence. But Detang? He couldn't help himself. From behind bars, an alleged message leaked. "She thinks she's safe. She won't be." That one line sent shivers across the internet. Was it real? Was it staged? Fans didn't care. Screenshots went viral, news outlets covered it, and suddenly the narrative wasn't about Vaughn's death anymore. It was about whether his sister would live to tell the truth. By the end of part 3, the scandal had mutated. It wasn't just about King Vaughn's murder, or even Lil Durk's alleged betrayal. It was about a shadow network, a secret alliance, one that could reach from hospital rooms to courtrooms, silencing anyone who dared to speak. And the chilling thought? If Vaughn's sister really knew everything, then maybe she wasn't just testifying. Maybe she was living on borrowed time. Because in a story built on betrayal, the scariest part isn't the truth itself. It's how far people will go to make sure the truth never comes out. And that's where we are now. A story that started with whispers on the streets has exploded into a full-blown cultural nightmare. King Vaughn's sister dropping a courtroom bombshell, the FBI dragged into the mix, D-Tang lunging with threats that shook the room, and the internet piecing together a conspiracy darker than anyone dared to imagine. This isn't just betrayal anymore. This is horror, betrayal, and power colliding in real time. But the questions remain. Was Vaughn really alive longer than fans were told? Did Lil Durk play a role deeper than the headlines admitted? And what about the so-called alliance? A shadow network of people who could silence hospital staff, erase footage, and attack family members in broad daylight. If even half of these leaks are true, then the truth isn't just being hidden. It's being buried alive. Now it's over to you. Do you believe Vaughn's sister's testimony, or do you think this is just courtroom chaos spun into rumor? Is Durk guilty of more than he's ever admitted, or is someone framing him in the darkest way possible? And most importantly, if there really is a secret alliance behind the scenes, how far will they go to keep their power safe? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this isn't just a story, this is a reckoning. And if you want the next bombshell the second it drops, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell, because here on Spillover, the truth doesn't trickle, it floods. And the next wave? It's coming faster than you think.